Betis then by 5-1. For more on this, here is the hat-trick hero.
Muy especial el poder salir ovacionado por todo el estadio, por todo el Bernabéu, por todos los madridistas. Para mí es un sueño, ¿no? Llevo bastantes años aquí en la cantera, soy madridista desde pequeño y el poder vivir una experiencia así para mí va a ser inolvidable.
So a good day for the Garcias at the Santiago Bernabéu as Real Madrid then closed the gap back on Barcelona, of course, won yesterday to 4 points. We welcome in our own Garcia. It's always a good day to be Luis Garcia. Luis, 5-1. Maybe the second half, that scoreline papers over some of the cracks. But let's focus first, shall we, on Gonzalo Garcia. That is schoolboy dream stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. As a kid from the academy and a fan of Real Madrid, if you have the opportunity to play at the Bernabeu, starting replacement of Kylian Mbappe, probably one of the best players in the world. Those are big shoes to fill in, and I think today was amazing. A fantastic job scoring 3 goals, but not only that, giving the opportunity to other players to get involved into the game, running and working for the team, giving that balance that is needed in this Real Madrid side to try to help the team overall to make a fantastic performance. I think that has been one of the best games of this Real Madrid, and we have to give a lot of credit to this young talent, 21 years old from the academy, because we saw what he was capable of during the Club World Cup, but we haven't seen him so much during this season. 2026 might be totally different for him.
Talk about taking your chance.
Yeah, and it's hard not to cheer for a guy like that after you see the interview, and you can see in his face and you can feel the excitement of what it means to him. And we must be very honest about this when we talk about Real Madrid. We don't see enough of this from Real Madrid. Players actually coming through. They seem to buy talent. They seem to outsource talent. He took it as an opportunity. Others may have thought this was a burden. Others may have thought this was pressure. And he took it on. And I mean, he took it head on. To be able to do this under normal circumstances would be great. But when you have Kylian Mbappe sitting on the stands, and given the pressure that is currently on Xabi Alonso and Real Madrid, that every single performance and every single game is evaluated, analyzed, broken down, almost to the point to where it's like, at 3-1 today, there were boos going on at Santiago Bernabéu. They were winning 3-1, and there were boos at Santiago Bernabéu. That's how much pressure there is on this team. So when you think of the importance of Gonzalo Garcia's performance, the productivity, the goals, the result, the performance, all of it together, it's actually elevated in terms of that importance because they needed the 3 goals today. They needed his goals, and he was able to produce.
Yeah, they needed them. As Ali rightly says, there's this fragility to Real Madrid that we saw in the second half, 3-1 up, and yet the pressure is still on that defence. It's still on Courtois to pull off these saves.
Yeah, I think we sit here every weekend and say the same thing. Courtois has again made saves that make the difference. And it seems a silly thing to say when you look at the scoreline of 5, but there was a period when that first goal went in, that they were 3-1 up. All of a sudden, the composure disappeared. You know, and every single time that happens, the back 4 gets it. But let's be honest, there are, 6 other players in front of that back 4 that for some reason can't do anything to help the back 4. And then when the back 4's asked to appear, they can't do it either. So that's probably why Courtois is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, because an average goalkeeper playing for Real Madrid right now, they would be a long way behind Barcelona.
How much does this take the pressure off Xabi Alonso, considering the week that he's got ahead, of course, Luis? Atletico Madrid on Thursday, who weren't very good today, and they 1-1 draw against Real Sociedad. And then, in theory, Barcelona at the weekend in the Super Cup final.
Yeah, I understand that after the previous week when there were a lot of rumors of Xabi Alonso staying or not, depending on what the game it was against Sevilla, I think right now the rumors are gone far away. I think that they understand and the supporters understand that Xabi Alonso is going to stay at least until the end of the season and waiting for to see if he managed to get a trophy. But definitely starting the 2026 with a good result, bringing a young talent, not remembering that Kylian Mbappe is not involved involved, that is not going to be involved in the coming games, and much more with a trophy in front of them. I think the pressure is moving on to whatever it is in the next coming months. Definitely a good start for Xabi Alonso. It's trying to hoping of having a good games against Atletico de Madrid in the midweek. Today, the Atletico de Madrid, what we saw is not what we have. Is not different of what we haven't seen from Atletico Madrid in 2025. So we can expect Real Madrid a challenge for that trophy. But definitely, Xabi Alonso must be secure and confident of that now he can manage Real Madrid. Now he can work on what he's been doing in the past couple of months and try to be more consistent. Today, we have a good Real Madrid, but not consistent enough to what we can expect of this quality squad.
Xabi Alonso was comfortable enough today to make a big decision. The team was falling apart. At 3-1, they were losing control of the game. And to Stevie's point, you're not getting help defensively from Rodrigo nor Vinny. Mm-hmm. And he knows that taking Vinny off the field is going to become news, because it's always the case. And he did not hesitate. They needed something different. They needed more balance. He brought in Arda Güler and Mastantuono. Rodrigo, come off the field. And yeah, Vinny, come off the field as well. And it helped the team. Now, if these things don't work, then again, pressure goes back on Xabi Alonso. But today, he was secure enough and confident enough to say, this is what the team needs right now. And it paid off. 5-1, I think, flatters Real Madrid. 5-1 wasn't quite a true reflection of the game. But what we can say is that for the first 60 minutes, Real Madrid were as good as they have been this whole season. And that was based on energy, intensity, and work rate. When this team works, and this is something that Gonzalo Garcia helps with, when this team works and works well together, they can beat anybody. But their drop-off is so significant as well that that's when they become vulnerable against any team.
Luis, which was the best goal of his hat-trick?
That volley from outside the box is a top. I mean, if you can, I know that everyone can see Kylian Mbappe doing that. So because he's a kid and he's 21 years old, doesn't take away any credit. I think it's a fantastic goal.
Yeah. Do you know when you hear us talking about composure?
Yes.
That's what's so great about that goal. He's 21.
The second goal, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 21. He's getting an opportunity, but he has the composure because he's waiting for that ball to come down. And you've no idea what's going through his head. His computer is running at 1,000 miles an hour. And all he wants is, please come down, please fall. Can you come a little quicker? But he doesn't panic. He lets it drop and takes his time and gets himself composed. Yeah. And it's a perfect strike. That's the greatest thing about that.
As a center forward, can I make a case for his third goal because of the movement to free himself up? How he sets up the defender, Nathan. He takes him inside, outside, and then back to the inside. By the time he goes back to the near post, Nathan is lost.
No idea what it is.
He doesn't. But that takes movement away from the ball. Right. And that takes actually instinct as well, in that you're setting up your next move with your initial, okay, I'm going to go this way. He thinks I'm going that way. I'm going to come back this way. And by that time, the defender is gone. And on top of it, then you have to finish it in the manner in which he did with a back heel. So I'll make the case for the third goal just in the movement alone.
Perfect hat-trick, of course. Left foot, right foot header. Stevie, your hat-trick against Newcastle, was that?
It wasn't the perfect hat-trick, unfortunately.
Oh, useless.
Sorry to disappoint.
Well, so speaking of disappointment, Luis, Ali brought this up on yesterday's show, and I feel that we need to address it face-to-face. Am I correct, Ali, that you sent Luis a Merry Christmas?
I did.
And there was no response?
Ignore me.
Wow. Luis?
Yes, ghosted me, totally.
Luis, your defence? No.
I have no defense. I regret it. I think it's weird that I don't answer Ale because he's one of my favorites. But I was, I think, at some point doing something. I said I will text later, and I forgot. Sorry.
Manchester City won. Chelsea won. Huge result then for Arsenal, who of course now stretch their lead at the top of the table, meaning they are 6 clear now of Manchester City, who are level on points with Aston Villa. For more on this, let's welcome in, shall we, Frank Leboeuf. But I want to start off with you, Stevie. How did City blow this?
You know, the small things matter. When you don't put teams away, the small things matter. And what Ali's talking about there with O'Reilly, doesn't take him inside, doesn't show him the line. It's just lazy. Gets square on, and then he can't recover. I mean, it's just, It's the actions of a guy who's really not a defender, who's asked to play defensively.
Right.
And that's what's caught them. You know, other than the Neto chance, nothing else from Chelsea going forward. That little detail where you play essentially a midfielder as a fullback, that's what it catches up with you sometimes. And it caught up with them today.
And we sit here week after week when we have the discussion, well, who's the favorite to win the Premier League? And I think most of us will say, well, Arsenal seem like the more likely team. And when we have arguments against Manchester City, the first thing that comes up, the outside back position and transitions defensively. And people will say, well, Nico Riley has done a good job. He has done a job. Mateus Nuñez has done a good job. He's done a job for you. So basically, you either force him to the outside, you give him the space, you allow your center backs to get in position defensively, you allow trailing midfielders to get in defending positions, you delay, force them to the outside, and nothing happens. But when you take yourself out of the defensive position and now allow Chelsea to create a chance out of nothing, now you need people to help you on the backside. And that's when the other outside back comes into play, Mateus Nuñez. He's not in the position that he should be to begin with, and then has the missed clearance. So your two outside backs are exposed. We don't just sit here and talk about these things because we're picking on O'Reilly and Mateus Nuñez. We mention it because these are weak points, and weak points show up when you least expect it, and this was the case for Manchester City today.
And guess who doesn't do that? Arsenal, Mateta. He could have played Lewis Skelly. Everybody wants Lewis Skelly to play because he's really good going forward, but he's questionable defensively. So what does Arteta do? He plays in Capia there. I mean, those are the little things that will decide the Premier League, and right now, it looks like Arsenal's.
LeBoeuf at the back would never concede that goal, would you, Frank?
No, not sure about that, but it's true that it's a main point, and I think Stevie alluded it last time, where he said that, you know, I don't know if teams work during the training session defensively. I don't know what they do, and it can be for Manchester City, it can be for Liverpool this season, it can be also for Chelsea for sure. It can be for any team but Arsenal, and Arsenal are the first in the Premier League. I mean, I used to play football when Italy was the best championship in the world because they were firstly working defensively. They were making sure that they didn't concede any goal and then try to have some chances. It was maybe boring. It was a 1-0 most of the time win, but it was very effective. And nowadays, we don't see that, and we feel that they don't work on that. And that's clear for us that they don't have any knowledge about the basics, the foundation of defending together. And that's what I see. I wasn't the best defender, but in terms of communication, of work, we knew exactly what our teammate was doing. Anywhere on the field.
So Frank, to that point, I just want to, because to that point, does the fact that Vardiol and Diaz were both off the pitch offer City an excuse in your two main centre-backs are obviously not playing?
Well, it can put the level a little bit below expectation, but the others, they are football players. They are professional players. I remember sometimes being injured, and the guy was behind me was the young John Terry, or was Steve Clark as well, and it wasn't Marcel Desailly. They knew what they had to do. They knew how to communicate because we are working on that. We are working 6 against 11 twice a week. You know, where we are playing only the 4 at the back, the goalkeeper, and the 2 midfield against 11 guys. So, and we knew we had to communicate for half an hour to make sure we didn't concede any goal. And most of the time, we never conceded any goal because we knew how to cover each other, how to move from left to right, and it could be anybody, any individuals. It worked, but I want to see that. I want to make sure. I'm pretty sure that they don't work on that during training session.
More to the point, sorry, Steve, more to the point, actually, Dan, when you say your 2 center backs are off the field injured, that's when you have to be even more aware if you are Nico O'Reilly and if you're Mateus Nuñez and whoever has come in and played in the center back position. That's when you have to be even more attentive to details and the awareness, special awareness around you. The defensive, the moment, what does it call for? If you're Nico Riley, you cannot go chase a ball that you're not going to get to. You're not going to go and challenge a ball that you're not going to get to. You give yourself some space so that you can accommodate for a potential mistake. so that you can force the play to go backwards and not be on you. So actually, the point that you're making, while it may seem a valid one, it actually goes even more against Nico Riley in his decision-making here, because he should be more aware. It's like, okay, these guys are off the field. I need to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more conservative. I don't need to take this chance.
6 points, Stephen. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's not insurmountable, but I think what we're seeing
It feels like more, doesn't it, though?
Yeah, it feels
You
as
just
though
don't
they're
feel that
further
City's going to
ahead.
win 18 games in a row.
No, they're not. They're not, and for the reasons that we've just picked out one reason why we think they won't, and that's because they've got two fullbacks who don't defend. So six is not. It's not insurmountable. It's not huge. Just as Ali said, it feels as though it really is Arsenal's to lose.
That old, like, the 50-40-10 that we were talking about with percentages, I think this has kind of swung that pendulum even more in Arsenal's favour, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Man City, in order to chase Arsenal, had to have everybody fit every single time, and they had to play a strong team every time. City's not in a position where Arsenal are, where they're deep enough, I think, to rotate and know that they're going to win. I think when City rotates, you're not quite sure. You don't get that. You don't get that with Arsenal, whether they rotate or not. They look as though they're going to win, and generally they do.
Forgive us if we don't talk about Chelsea too much, but we will, of course, talk about their new coach. Rosenior looks like he's almost definitely going to be appointed tomorrow, Frank. That's what everybody is telling us. What do you make of it? What have you seen of him in France? Is this a good appointment, or is this too soon for someone who lacks a sort of resume for such a big club with such big expectations?
Well, for Strasbourg's fans and Strasbourg's players, it's not very good news, but he's a fantastic coach. He's a great coach. He knows how to make people work and work together. What I saw from him in Strasbourg in a year and a half with the Racing Club Strasbourg has been very efficient, and I want to wish him the best, because he has all the knowledge and the psychology to make the people work and work very well. He did it with young players, so I don't know what's going to happen with experienced players, but we can see Chilwell plays for Strasbourg this year, and according to what I saw, and some people will tell me, it's a different guy from before he left Chelsea. So I guess he knows also how to work with experienced players. So it's going to be a good thing for, hopefully, is what I think, for Chelsea. So I wish him good luck.
There's a slight problem, though. You're going to have to do as you're told. Liam Rosenior's going to have to do as he's told. It's pretty clear that's why Maresca's not there. And
what does that mean?
In terms of, look, if there is one thing that you must be in charge of as the coach or the manager, whatever you want to call it, is when it comes down to the football, who's playing, who's not playing, who comes on, who comes off. You have to be in charge of that. Right. All the other stuff you can accept. But it absolutely looks like that's the problem Maresca had. And so any coach with any real self-respect, if he's not able to do those things, then I'm sorry, no, you shouldn't be. If he understands...
Is this appointment a good thing or not?
Well, it is for the hierarchy at Chelsea, because he's a young manager and they know that they can tell him what to do.
Will he make them better than what we've seen?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
I appreciate that, because that's a very good answer, because we don't know. There's so much on this show we don't know and we pretend we do. But let's just be honest.
What we do know is he's going to be told what to do. That's a horrible place to start. Any manager who walks into a job knowing that there will be times when he can't pick and choose who's playing and who's not. That is a non-starter for anybody with self-respect.
And well, whether that's true or not.
But Stevie, what do you...
Go ahead, Frank.
Sorry, Ali. What do you think it happened to him in Strasbourg? You know, we know that Chelsea, the owner of the Racing Club of Strasbourg now, and player that he built the team with had to go to Chelsea last season, like Andre Silva, for example, and we are told that many players are going to leave if they are good enough. So every year he has to do something, and he doesn't decide. And for the 2 years that he's been, he managed to deal with what he had. So I don't know it's going to be an easy task, for sure not. I don't know if he's going to get all the power. I don't think he will, but I think he's good enough to manage and to not find any excuses like Maresca was trying to get. And hopefully it's going to work for him.
So there's one little problem, Frank, that he's going to have. Pressure. Pressure. I mean, Maresca, when he loses a couple of games, is under pressure. You're picking the wrong players. You're picking the wrong team. That's part of the reason he's not there. Because he's sitting every night in his house after they've lost and he's not been able to play somebody, or he's had to do as he's told, and he's getting pelters from everything coming from inside the building and the fans outside the building. That's called pressure. And that's the difference between managing Strasbourg and your job is to bring on young players. At Chelsea, your job is to win. That's a different ballgame.
A lot more, of course, on this, on the latest edition of the Gab and Jules podcast. That drops on Monday. Be sure to check it out. I'm sure we'll be discussing it on tomorrow's show as well. So it's League One, Manchester United 1. I imagine our conversation would have similar themes as they have been in the past, obviously. You look at someone like Sesko, who didn't do much, couldn't get in the goal, blah, blah, blah. But that got blown out of the water completely when Ruben Amorim addressed the press after the game.
I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not to be the coach of Manchester United. And that is clear. I know that my name is not Tuchel, is not Conte, is not Mourinho, but I'm the manager of Manchester United. And it's going to be like this for 18 months, or when the board decided to change. So that was my point. I want to finish with that. I'm not going to quit. I will do my job until other guy is coming here to replace me.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Frank Leboeuf is with us. Right, first off, his official title is head coach.
Head coach.
Not manager. So he's asking to have a role that he didn't sign up for. Yet he's only realised, however long down the line, this is sack me now, isn't it? Pay me off.
Yeah, I mean, this is Maresca Mark II, right? He wants out. He's like, you know what, I'll stay here till the end of it if you want me to, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do the job, but, you know.
This is the job I signed up for.
Yeah, he's basically, I'm not in charge, so don't be giving me pelters when things go wrong, because I can't do what I want to do. So, yeah, I'll be here till the end of my contract, and then he can bring some other guy in to do as he's told.
Frank, is there any coming back from this for him?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Can he come back from this? Like, how do you communicate with the board, your bosses, after you've come out and said this? I don't want this job, I want more responsibility, when you've been rubbish so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he wants to be out, you know. And there was like the coach of Nottingham Forest, the Portuguese guy, when we say something against the chairman, and he was out a week after. No, thank you. Yes, and that's the same thing for me. And if you want to make comments like that, because you know exactly what's going to be your exit, and you want that exit, you even wish that, because it's impossible for the board, even for everybody working around, to deal with him. So I'm not really surprised. I think the guy is fed up. He didn't find a solution for that. Did he try? I don't know, but for sure, Manchester United is not better under Amorim. So yeah, maybe it's better to see something else.
I mean, this is so egregious and flagrant that I almost think that he didn't know what he was saying. I mean, you can't possibly go into a press conference and say these things and not expect for there to be repercussions and for there to be consequences. For the longest time, I've been saying somebody has to tell this guy to just shut it. Just stop talking. Don't get so cute. He tries to get cute and gives these explanations, and he always finds himself in cul-de-sacs, and he can't get out. He can't find an off-ramp, and then he says something that you're just like, what are you talking about? I'm not the manager, I'm the coach. I'm not the coach, I'm the manager. What is the point? And then to call everybody else out and say, you guys do your job, I'll do mine. It really, if we didn't have a feeling, which I think we've all had for a while, or the perception that this club is all over the place, this confirms it. that whatever communication we thought existed between decision makers and the manager, or the coach for that matter, it doesn't exist. They're not seeing the same plan. They're not seeing the same objective. And if this club is ever to get back to where they once were, to the glory days, the first thing that needs to happen is that the objectives that are set forth by the club are both for the manager, the coach, the board, the front office, that they all are trying to execute the same thing. And clearly, that doesn't seem to be the case right now.
It's a different story. We're seeing here, he's ranked 14th since he took over. If I'm top of the table, and I'm saying, I'm going to the board, look, I want more responsibility, I think I've shown you what I bring, then yes. But what he's done is nothing to write home about and nothing to be sat there going, I need to be the man in charge.
Well, I think there comes a time, it's a little bit like the Maresca situation, to be honest. I think there comes a time when everybody's piling on, saying how you're not making the team better because of this, because like so many things, you're just not making this team better. They're worse than when you came. And I think eventually, you just have enough.
Right.
It's one thing to fail when you've been able to try and implement everything you want to implement. That's a different ballgame to failing, and you know that half of it is not your fault, but you're carrying the can. You're the one that's getting hit every Saturday night after the game. You're the one that's getting it from the fans, getting it from programs like ours, and everybody behind the scenes it's like they're getting off with it. Nobody's really saying that much. So I just think he's had enough. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to resign. You can get rid of me. And I'll just help myself on the way.
Well, okay, so be it, Stevie. But if you're in the trenches, if we're at war and we're in the trenches, right, and they're shooting us from that direction, we don't go and show up and go like, hey guys, I'm over here. No, you don't make yourself a bigger target. And this is what he does all the time.
Do they have shepherd's pie?
well, maybe you run out there. It just feels like he himself brings all the attention and negative attention to him. This doesn't help him in any way. Honestly, it makes him look like an idiot. Like, what did you think was going to happen here? Doesn't make himself look good and doesn't make the club look good, doesn't make any of it look good.
Frank, does this affect the players at all?
No, I don't think so. I think even the player, I think they're fed up with him because they don't know what to do. And players like Zirkzee, who had a very good game, the 30 minutes that he played, I think he's wishing that that guy is gonna go. So I know it won't affect. The players, they like him, they're gonna be sorry for him, but they're gonna wait for another one, and they're gonna try to seduce or please him and carry on their career. But no, in the dressing room, maybe they're gonna say, "Well, I think that guy wants to go," but that's the only thing they're gonna say.
The biggest problem with that situation, though, is the players then start playing for themselves.
Okay.
And there's no togetherness.
Right.
Everybody's like, well, you know what? He's going, so I just need to make sure I'm all right.
Yes.
So there's no togetherness.
And this team already struggles with that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
no matter who the coach is.
Yeah.
It finishes Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. This is what Arne Slot had to say after the game. So many points have disappeared for us. Of course, it's frustrating. We rely throughout the whole season on luck and bad luck, and that is something we have to improve. That a shot in the last minute doesn't lead to us losing points, and that is what we are trying. We haven't done that yet. Frank Leboeuf is still with us, but Stevie, I rudely interrupted your thoughts on the winning goal.
Yes, but what's he talking
Game
about?
time. Game time goal.
We'll talk about that in a moment, but let's just talk about the equaliser.
Well, if you look at the equaliser, so they think it's a throw-in. So everybody's back. They think it's going to be a long throw. Now, as soon as you see that the throw-in's going to be short, somebody has to be in charge, whether it's either of the centre-backs, your captain probably should be, or your goalkeeper, to push everybody out. Instead, they all stand on the 6-yard box, including the goalie. There are 9 Liverpool players standing on the 6-yard box.
Who thought Harrison Reed was going to do that?
That's not the point. The point is, what you try and do is you try and cut. When you're playing the game, you try to cut down percentages. That's what you're doing. You're doing things. If you can win the ball, 100%, there you go. But then you're starting to go right.
But isn't that a 1 in a million shot when you're talking about percentages? Harrison Reed said he'd never do that again.
Yeah, and that's all great, and he deserves praise, and well done, Fulham. But from a Liverpool point of view...
Can you just do your well done, Fulham again, please?
Yeah. From a Liverpool point of view, the basics of defending, when the ball comes backwards, then you move out. Everybody just stood. I mean, it's schoolboy defending is what it is. But, again, I'm not taking away from the strike.
It sounds like you are.
If there's somebody closer to him and he has to be hurried, and he's not able to get himself in a perfect spot, size up the situation, I've got plenty of time here. That's not how it should be. Somebody should have been sprinting out to him to put him off. But they weren't. And that's why they lost 2 points.
Wasn't this just one of those things, a moment of genius?
That was absolutely fantastic. The goal is nothing to take away from it, but I agree with Stevie. And I was with Olivier Dacour, the former Everton and Leeds player, and we say, why Van Dijk is not sprinting towards Reed? Why he's waiting? Because he has nobody to mark and he's not doing anything. He's going a little bit forward, and then he put his hands on the back and then wait. Instead of sprinting, that is the one guilty for that. Well, yes, of course, Reed maybe wouldn't have done anything to that shot, but you have to try. You have to try to disturb and put pressure on Reed, and it's what Van Dijk didn't do. But yeah, what a goal! What a crazy goal, and for a guy who almost never scored a goal.
Yeah, not bad at all. Right, back to Arne Slot's quotes, talking about luck and about how things haven't worked out or they haven't made their own luck enough, Stevie, so far this season.
They've got exactly what they deserve to do.
Right, nothing to do with luck.
Nothing to do with luck at all. So, you know, they're unlucky that they end up having to play Szoboszlai and Curtis in the wide areas attacking. Now, that's bad luck, that you've got that amount of injuries, that you have to do that. But at the same time, when you step on the field, you can't run around saying, well, we're unlucky today, we don't have so. Now you've got to play. And they didn't play. I mean, Fulham just went like that, right? I tell you what, you can have it and try and beat us. And guess what? Liverpool didn't even try and beat them. You know, it's one thing to have 500 or 600 passes, but there has to be a purpose of why you're passing it. You don't just pass it around, well, we'll just keep it for 90 minutes and we'll get a point. You have to be positive. And what happens? You know, we talk about the modern game, and there are certain things that, whether you played in 1910 or 2010 or now,
or 100.
There are certain things that are the same then as they are today. And that one is, the object of the game is to go that way towards the opposition goal. And so to be positive when you get the ball, your first touch, unless somebody's squeezing you tight, your first touch has to be a positive one to go forward.
Yeah.
And what happens is, it's a domino effect, because your teammates see you being positive, you're looking to go forward, so they'll start moving, or they'll drop off, and people will make runs. But when you get the ball and you go backwards and stand on it and stop the game, everybody shuts down. Everybody goes to sleep.
And where does that come from? Who has to take responsibility for that?
It comes from the man on the ball, and it comes from the coach at the start of the game, who, yes, you want to keep the ball, but you know what? The object of the game is to go forward. So we need to be positive. And the first half was frightening. I mean, you said it was boring. I'll tell you what, it was worrying, absolutely worrying.
I can even take it even further, Stevie, and I would say it's not just the decision to play the ball backwards. You rarely see, if you watch Liverpool play today, you rarely saw any players that once they pass the ball to actually sprint into a position to get the return pass or put themselves in a position where they can get a return pass. So many times, and it doesn't matter who it was, whether it was McAllister, whether it was Florian Wirtz, they pass the ball sideways or back and then slow jog. There was never a purpose of, I'm passing this ball so that then I can get in that space and get it again, or at the very least, drag a defender with me so that a passing lane is open. It's all A to B to C, slow in the movement of the ball and slow in the movement of the player.
Frank?
Yeah, Arne Slot was talking about the luck. You know, if he's talking about bad luck or good luck, he has to talk about the first game that they had at the beginning of the season, where they were winning every time the last minute because of luck. So you have to force the luck to come. and to be on your side. That's what it is. And it goes with what Ali and Stevie just said. You have to go forward in order to maybe show that moment where the luck has to go your side. And it's what happened last season with Liverpool and never happened to this season or right now, because they don't force it, because they don't go forward, because they don't try it. They are in one gear, same gear, and they don't go forward, they go sideways. It's why maybe they don't have that like that he's talking about.
Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. We welcome the beautiful, the one, the only Frank Leboeuf is with us, as is Stevie Nicol, and as is someone who I thought was a colleague and then developed into a friend. However, that was shown very different this Christmas holiday, Ali, I'm afraid.
Why is that, Dan?
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware of something called Ding Dong Ditch, which I'm afraid I was a victim of during
what
the
are you
Christmas
talking about,
holidays,
Dan?
and it was the Moreno children
what?
who were involved. But I feel I know who was the ringleader.
What?
Or not once, but two separate evenings, disturbing my very important evening regime. Ding Dong Ditch, I'm afraid, is something, Ali, that is very much
First of
frowned
all,
upon, and this is not.
I know nothing of what you're talking about,
I
Dan.
guess that's the American term for it.
Yes, what's the English term?
It's chap and run.
Chap and run. There we go.
No idea what you're talking about, Dan.
Yeah, Ali, I do not believe you one bit.
You wouldn't do that, Ali.
Well, of course he would. The ringleader of them all.
No.
Yeah, the Morenos.
Not
They wouldn't do this without Daddy's permission.
Accusation. Is there evidence of this?
Well, yes, I do have it on my Ring doorbell. Both of your children.
Oh, well.
And am I anywhere in the picture?
Your car is around the corner, parked.
Can you see me at all?
I can definitely see the car.
So you say Melissa was driving?
I have no idea what you all are talking about.
Melissa thought, let's drive to West Ham to Ding Dong Ditch down.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Frank, I hope you admire the brilliance of Harrison Reed's goal and not conduct a 10-minute analysis of how the Liverpool defence could have set up better. That was Steve Nicol's excuse, of course. Frank as well was talking about the defence.
Yeah, but the first thing I did was give him credit.
Can you not just appreciate a brilliant goal? One of the goals of the season.
Well, it's difficult to appreciate a great goal when it's against your team, Dan. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought surely as an objective pundit, you'd be able to do
Well,
that.
I believe I said how great the goal was on the show.
You could put aside former Liverpool legend.
I won't apologise for what I said.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Oh, wow, all right. Okay.
It's not that controversial,
He
Steve.
could be getting another ding-dong ditch, by the way. That's what he's
What
getting.
is it? What is it? Chap and run?
Chap and run.
Chap and run.
When a team goes up late and then throws away the win because they didn't calm down and see it through, who is most responsible? Coach, captain, or everyone, Frank? That's good, obviously referring to the fact when Gakpo scored, Liverpool thought they'd won it.
And see that.
That's for give me the which team is that? What team goes
I just did.
to play?
Gakpo
So they come
scored
back?
and then...
Okay, for Liverpool.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You know, we know that when you score a goal, you have the tendency to, you know, slow down or maybe calm down, I don't know what it is, and lose a little bit the concentration that you should have. Who is most responsible? The players. I would say the players, because the coach cannot do anything, the captain cannot do anything. It's more the players on the field all together who didn't do the job. So I would say the players.
Yeah, the players, but I would pull it in a little bit. Your captain, your experienced guys, your goalkeeper. You know, as Frank said, you know, when you're up late, the tendency is to drop deep, right? But that's when your experienced guys have to come in to play. They get everybody not to do that. So it's the goalkeeper in particular, because you shouldn't be letting people stand on your toes. Number one. And then your captain and your experienced guys around you. I mean, you've got World Cup winners in the team,
right?
But you're standing on the 6-yard box. Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
But it was a great goal, Dan.
But it was a it was a fantastic goal.
I was contending for goal of the season.
It was definitely going to be in the top 10, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
and maybe number one.
Yeah,
That's how good it is.
Well, will it be king of the pitch?
We'll see.
Is that still going in 2026? What's the dressing room like after dropping 2 points? Are there scuffles between players, or is it just silent? This referring to the City game, of course, Frank.
I think there are words. People, they're getting upset. Mostly the coach, the captain, the experienced player that Stevie is saying. I think sometimes they point others because you try to understand what happened and how it's possible that you're dropping 2 points at the last minute. So you have to find somebody guilty, I guess. So some people can get very nervous and upset. Yeah.
What would you be like, Ali, in that situation?
Well, it depends on what the circumstance is. Right. If it's a terrible individual mistake, it's different than the team not recognizing a moment in which you have to step out or whatever the case may have been. So it really depends on how that goal comes about. If it was a controversial penalty kick call, for example, then all your negativity goes towards the referee and not to the players.
Sure.
Again, it depends on the circumstances and how that goal was scored, but it's never a good feeling. It's never a feeling which the locker room is like, that's all right, guys, we'll get them next time. It's never like that.
It's funny because the two we're talking about today are the perfect examples of how different it should be, what the coach says.
Okay.
So the one with O'Reilly, not only is it a young player that's made a mistake, but there's still other opportunities to clear it after that. And so you don't really want to be pointing the finger at O'Reilly. You kind of, you don't brush over it, but you don't make a big thing of it.
Okay.
The Liverpool one, to me, is the opposite. If I'm the coach, I'm going in and I'm absolutely raising my voice, and I'm absolutely pulling the captain out, because the captain in Van Dijk was the nearest player who should have been closing the ball, but I'm also having a go at the goalkeeper and the other experienced guys and it's along the lines of, I can't do anything when I'm sat on the bench. You guys need to take care of stuff. I can't do everything.
So the goalkeeper's to blame because he didn't tell everyone to push up?
Absolutely. Goalkeeper should get on the back, get off my toes and get out whenever you can. And Van Dijk should be closing the ball. And it's so different for both goals.
Is there any argument to say, obviously I haven't been in the dressing room, that Slot is hesitant to do that with Van Dijk because he's such an important player?
No.
For Liverpool, but in doing that sets an example to the others?
Correct. If at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter who it is.
Right.
Right? At the end it shouldn't. But there are exceptions, and one would be the young guy O'Reilly. A young guy who's just still learning the game, it's not a good time to dig him out. But the captain, when he's front and centre of it, absolutely. Because the young guys that go with the team and are 17th man or whatever it is are sitting there and they're listening to the captain getting it. That's a great example for them that nobody is above taking criticism. Nobody.
Especially when the captain,
You know
Van
that-
Dijk himself,
sorry.
has gone after players on the field, as he did with Kerkis. So when he has made it a point to show somebody else up, then as a manager, you can also make the point, hey, you kept Harry Wilson on side.
Okay.
Huh? You did this. You didn't
you
step
know-
out. Now you wanna massage the situation. You don't just get in his face and do this, but you point it out.
Just do it and run.
No, not a chap and run.
No.
Not that. But you make sure that you deliver the message. And this is when managing is more than just putting players in position. This is when you have to know who do you push and when do you push.
Frank?
Yeah, if you're the captain, and if you're guilty for that, like Virgil van Dijk was, maybe you go in the dressing room and say, guys, that's for me. I should have gone for it, and I'm very sorry about that. To make sure that you take it and you show your position and the fact that you accept responsibility for that. But just to laugh about it, I have friends in the Liverpool dressing room, and I was told that Arne Slot started to point finger to Virgil van Dijk. You know what said Virgil van Dijk? Like Stevie, that was a great goal. That was a really great goal.
Wait. You've got friends in the Liverpool dressing room who told you...
I'm just joking about the fact that Reed scored a fantastic goal, and that Van Dijk has an excuse saying that was a great goal.
It was a nuanced joke.
Sorry, Frank.
There was a joke there, and then there was another layer to the joke.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
It's lost in culture.
I don't think I was listening properly. Ali.
I got it, Frank. It was funny.
Yeah, it's
it
just
was
he's-
funny.
he's-
I know you got it. That's a Latin humor. That's not a Anglo-Saxon one, whatever.
What?
Let me translate it. That's Latin humor, not Anglo.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you very much. For Ali, should Xavi Alonso bench Vinicius Jr. and play with Mbappe as the 7, Ramos as a 9, and Rodrigo as an 11?
Well, it's a conversation that we had following the match, and that there's a conversation to be had that is, if Vinny continues to be a problem for Xavi Alonso and Real Madrid and his contract extension, and all of that is part of the conversation, and then you have on the other hand this young kid Gonzalo Garcia, who's Real Madrid through and through, right? And he's scoring goals, and Kylian Mbappe has been telling you that I'd rather play on the left-hand side and have the freedom to go wherever I want to. Then there is an opportunity there for Xavi Alonso to make that decision. However, if you make that decision, there is no coming back from it. There is no Vinny at Real Madrid in the future, if that indeed the case that in the decision that you make. So that's when you have to be really careful as to how you go about making sure that this is exactly what you want. It's great to have Gonzalo Garcia scoring goals, but when Kylian Mbappe comes back from his injury, it's going to be Mbappe down the middle and Vinny on the left-hand side for the foreseeable future.
Mr. Moreno.
Oh, I like that.
Gonzalo scored his first hat-trick. Do you remember your first?
Yes, I do. 2004 against DC United in the old RFK Stadium.
I'm guessing it wasn't the perfect hat-trick?
Well, it was perfect to me, Dan. It was perfect to me. And the third goal was a backheel goal, much like...
What was the total yardage of the 3 goals combined?
I'm going to say it didn't get to 18.
Right, okay. So
if I think about it, I'm serious. I don't think it got to 18 if you had them all 3 together. Yes.
Did any of them hit the back of the net?
No, hold on, wait a minute. They were all side netting, so technically no.
Stevie, you scored obviously a famous one against Newcastle. Was there one that preceded that at all in your professional career?
No.
Remind us of these goals. One was to the header outside the box, was it? Was that part of the hat-trick?
No.
Okay, good.
No. You got me. I'm trying to think of the first one now.
Right,
Yeah, it's a toe poke.
right.
First one's a toe poke.
What position were you playing?
I was playing right midfield. First one is a toe poke. The third one is a dinky do.
Oh,
hello.
nice. YouTube?
And the second one was from Moreno range.
Yes.
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 Oh, fantastic. And do you still have the ball?
My son has the ball.
Does he?
He does, yeah.
Did Liverpool sign it? That's signing it, by the way.
Well, yes. Unfortunately, as time has gone on, you can't see the signatures anymore.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, because I should have put it in a case and blah blah blah.
It's not like
I
you,
didn't.
Stevie.
No, it was sitting in the loft for yonks. That's
Yeah.
why I gave it to Michael.
There you go, Michael. It's a ball.
Well, there's a ball for you.
And just a quick question: did it hit the back of the net?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Do you still have your ball, Ali?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Where is it? In the loft.
I'm hearing it was only 8 minutes, the hat-trick.
That's right.
There you are. I'm concerned that Mike Rodriguez, our producer, looked it up because he didn't believe you.
Yeah. I think I made up the story. It's actually, I think I scored that season. I scored in the first 5 or 6 shots that I took on target.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But how many shots on target did you
Well,
have?
that's a different question, Dan. That's a different question.
And where's the ball?
The ball is somewhere in the basement in a box.
There you
yeah.
go.
There you are.
Usual.
That-
The usual.
Frank.
Yes, I scored an hat trick once. It was 2 penalties,
Oh, this
and
story
there
really
was a
broke his
third
eye.
one made by the same guy against Caen with Strasbourg. And I didn't want to shoot the last one, so I gave the ball to a friend of mine, but I stayed up. And the guy missed it, and the ball came back to me, and I scored.
Is that when you
but we
broke
didn't
your
have
eye
a-
socket or
we
something,
didn't have-
Frank?
Yes, yeah. I broke
Alan
my-
Shearer
the,
did it.
The
He
first
was
half,
playing
and
on
I
loan.
and I scored. Yeah, and I scored the 3 goals the second half, and I broke my eye the first half. But I was more efficient in my career with only one eye than 2 eyes. But we didn't have the football in France. We at the time nobody gave me the ball, and so I'm sad. I'm very sad.
Yeah, of course. That's Frank's sad face.
You're going to be all right, Frank.
Good piece of acting, that, Frank.
Frank, what's the vibe in Paris today? Quite a deep question, but fear not. With the first Paris derby in Ligue 1 since 1978. Is this a big deal or just another match?
It's not a big deal. It's nice because we all saw those two stadiums very, very close to each other, which wasn't the case when Paris FC was in the Ligue 2. They were playing in another stadium. It's where the Stade Français in rugby plays as well. It's a very nice stadium, of course smaller than the Parc des Princes, but there is no animosity between the two clubs right now. They have to create something and history, and it's mostly created by animosity, and that's going to be hard if it exists in some decades. But right now, it's just fun. It's just nice, and I think the two clubs, they appreciate each other. I went to see one game of Paris FC last time, and many former Paris Saint-Germain players were in the stand, like Rai, the Brazilian player, and some others. That's only nice. It's like they appreciate each other right now. Let's see how it works with the fans in 10 years from now.
Why were you there? No way you were just there for fun. Who was paying you?
No. I was invited by the club, and that was very nice from them.
Yes.
And that was very nice. But it was they drew that game the last minute, so it was quite good for the atmosphere. But it's nice, It's a very nice club, and with very good people, working with it.
Yep, who give out brown envelopes of fun. Thank you very much, Frank. Thank you very much, guys. Just a reminder, ESPN FC back on your screens tomorrow, where inevitably we'll discuss Amorim's future with Mr. Mark Ogden.